Okay, so this one is for page 28, the minor triad jumps, and then also the major minor waves. So these are practiced in all of our keys. We have the 12 major and minor triads. Before we get started, let's do a quick review on page 27 and 24, doing our chords. So we're going to kind of mix these together a little bit. We're going to do both majors and minors. When we first start, go ahead and start with your C position. Right with my C chord, and then what we're going to do is transition to the minor. So whenever we're playing our minor, we're going to remember that the middle note is always going to go down a half step. That half step is going to be now our C minor chord. Going back up to major, back to minor. And that's going to be the same pattern all the way up the keyboard. So as we're transitioning to all of our different keys, we're always just remembering if we want to go to minor to transition that middle note down a half step. So let's do major, C major, minor, and then we're going to go back to major. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to do is go to the next key, and then what we're going to do is transition all of these notes up a half step. So we'll start with the bottom. Move your pinky up a half step. We're now at this note. Move this middle note up. And this one up. So we're at D flat major on this one. Do the exact same thing for the right one. If you can't move all of them at once, just move them all individually. Start with the bottom. Go up half step, half step, half step. That's our D flat major chord. And then what we're going to do is transition to the minor. Move the middle note again down half step. And that's our C sharp minor chord. Going back up. When we have our major again, go ahead and move to the next key. This one's going to be D major. If you can't move all of them over, you can just start with the bottom, move them a half step up. Next half step up, F sharp, half step, A. Next one, move this one half step. And we're at our D major chord. Okay, we want to go to the minor, D minor. Remember to move the third down. D minor. Back up to major. Okay, let's go ahead and transition to E flat major. What we're going to do, remember, if you can't move all of them up, we're just going to move them one at a time. Start with the bottom, E flat, G. This one's going to go to B flat. This one goes to E flat, G. Again, that's our E flat major. I guess we'll just keep going through these. So 3 goes down, E flat, major. Back to minor, major, minor, major. Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, transitioning one at a time. Bottom up, this one up, E major, E minor, okay, transitioning, F major. I'm gonna go to the next one, F sharp. Again, G position. Picking these up. B major. For B major, we have 2 sharps. Remember the middle goes down. Go to your major, and then we're gonna end on that C. Okay, so that's kind of just a quick review. Make sure that you're always, playing those if you're not quite sure or unfamiliar with those. Those are always good to memorize those for our musical language. Okay, so this one, let's do the minor triad jumps. These are going to be all in the minor. Go ahead and start with your C minor. On these ones, what we're going to do, left hand is going to jump down. We're going to go down an octave and then come back. So left, right, up, bump, 1. And that's going to be the whole pattern that we do for that one. Make sure to keep all your chords nice and staccato. When you take your jump down, make sure that you have a nice jump and transition. That chord should be right on the third beat without any pauses. If you want to just kind of go back and forth and get familiar with that transition, that's totally fine. And then what we're going to do, go to the next one. Remember, if you can't move all of them at once, just start with the bottom. Copy the right hand, same thing. Transition. Next one. it for the minor triad jumps. It looks like they want you to add in some pedal. So if you want to throw in some pedal, that's totally fine. You don't need to if you don't want to. The pedal's kind of just there. Okay, so let's do the next one. This is our major minor waves. What we're going to do for this one is transition to both the major and minor. So we're going to start with the major, and then we're going to go to the minor. So when you're starting this one, start with your left hand, start with C, regular C chord. And then just for practicing, remember to move the third down for that middle note. For the right hand, we're going to do our arpeggios. So practicing arpeggios, instead of doing the 1, 3, 5, remember for arpeggios, we're going to change the finger. And this is going to be now 1, 3, 5. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 for this one. And then practicing the minor transition, we remember to move the middle note down to get that minor chord. What we're going to do with your pinky, go up to that full octave. So that's our C full octave. If you're not quite ready to do both hands, what you can do is just practice with the right hand. So just like what we were doing with our other exercises, we're going to take the notes, move them up, half step, half step, half step, begin a half step. Remember for the minor, when we're transitioning to that minor, we move this note down for the minor. Back to the major. Then what we're going to do is go to the next key. So we're going to go ahead and move this note over. Again, half step, half step, half step, half step, D major. Transition to the minor. Remember to move that middle note down. Go to the next one. Remember transition to the major first just to get kind of oriented a little bit. Move this note up, 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 up. Okay, so let's do both hands. What we're going to do, make sure you're using your pedal, make a nice kind of arpeggio, nice flow sound. What we're trying to do, just make kind of a nice oceanic kind of flow with all of these. Counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pedal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure to kind of really feel the change in mood, how that's kind of feeling. It should be happy, and then we're transitioning to that sad. Imagine like a sun is kind of coming out, and then maybe more of a darker sort of sound. So all these are really great practices for color, making a lot of different sort of colorations. For the last part, make sure these are nice and staccato. C major, go to C minor, go back to C major. Okay, then what we're going to do, make sure transition all these up. Get to your arpeggios. Transition again. Also, too, with the dynamics, you have a forte and piano. So play the major nice and loud. There's a very the sun is really coming out, really kind of blasting us with sunshine on that one. Then the minor, more subdued. So we did major. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Going to F. Next one. Now we're going to G major. Practicing those, make sure to start slow. Make sure this is a little bit more of a kind of mental, sort of abstract kind of understanding of where all of these keys are. But once you get the hang of it, you're just kind of copy and paste that understanding to each of the keys going all the way up. Okay, and let's call it good for this one.